Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. It feels like forever since I've kind of just got down to basics and knuckled down and just did the things I love, and that was basically basic teardowns every day. But I haven't done those recently, enough recently I feel, so I'd like to do a bit more. So we've got three options here. We've got this quite heavy and thick Prestigio multipad, which is one of the things my kids used to play with, and very much destroyed, and all the sort of tablets the kids get hold of that are sort of this size, they all tend to end up with broken screens and things. Even my beloved Nexus 7, which was amazing, I love that. It was the best tablet I've ever owned. So that one's duff anyway. We can have a look at that, or we can have a look in what's in these packages. So I'm going to just open them up and then we'll just take a choice, and I say we, of course, I'm going to be voting on your behalf. Presuming of course it's something worth looking at. Not sure. Oh, 8GB SD card. So I don't think there's really much interest of you in looking at an 8GB micro SD card, but that could be interesting. I got that for my BBC micro turbo Pi interface thing, and I'm not sure what card it's got in there. If it's bigger than 8GB, I'm probably going to swap it, because you don't need an 8GB for old BBC micro stuff. In fact, I think the whole image is probably less than a megabyte for the whole PiTube Direct software. Okay, so we do have something though that does look a bit kit-like, and indeed it is a kit. So I think this will be the winner today, guys. And let's see if we can have a look in there. I don't see bloody instructions, which is worrying. In fact, let me have another look in the packet. Not one instruction. So I don't know, are we going to do this like we used to do? Like we used to do. You don't talk anymore. You don't talk anymore. You don't give... Oh! Someone wants to call me. Let me deal with that and then I'll hang up. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I don't need it. I don't need the insurance. No. It's okay. Thanks. Bye. Right. So, now that nastiness is out of the way, let's have a look. So we got a PCB here, and it looks pretty clear. It's got a reasonable amount of detail on this. Let's just look at the parts. I think this is a kind of a Tesla coil. I kind of was tempted by some high voltage stuff, and I think this is a Tesla coil that might be driven from an audio signal, because that was the kind of audio port, and it does say audio on it. So there's no massive imagination on my part here. Fortunately, look, for me, the resistor values, it's only got like 2 different values of resistor, so I don't have to struggle too much. It's got these standoffs there. I think they must act like little legs perhaps, so it doesn't sit on your bench frazzling. And then that, nicely enough, is a pre-wound coil. I don't know what you want to call it. Any other thing, it is just a coil. And I had a friend who built a giant one of these. I think this might be laminated, but apparently if you have them, you don't want to touch those, because apparently oil on your fingers messes it all up. I know that. Ask me how. So, we've got some heat sinks here as well. This is a good old kit, really, and the fact that it's got 2 massive heat sinks is makes it even better. Makes it seem like it's more serious. So let's just start with the resistors, because those are always fiddly. So you've got a 10K here, 10K, 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 lots of 10Ks, basically 1 2K. So I'm going to assume this one's the 2K. And I'm going with the whole assuming it's a something. I know how you like that. Do get a lot of people saying, oh, I need Brian Power Crazy's component lead bender that he printed for me. Very handy when I remember to use it. It's a very handy little gadget. I think did I just do that cross purposes? Yes, I did. There we go. So it's a funny old time, isn't it? Really, I've done that sticking out ever so pants. So what I'm going to do, rather than just crack on with all the other components, I'm just going to tack this one in. The old poor soldering iron tip now is starting to look a little bit ill. The reason it's looking ill, it's got a little hole in here now, which is kind of weird. It's acting like a little solder pot, which is kind of handy, but handier if it was near the tip, not near the shaft. So we've got a very kind of crookedy leg there. I'm just going to pull that through. I don't know if you've ever had that. If you look there, it's a dog leg. It doesn't make any difference electrically. It's just aesthetically. and it's good enough, I think. You just push that resistor over a bit. Nobody would be any the wiser. Side cutters. Now we're going to use our kind of fancy new side cutters with the leg retaining thing. Let's see if that's... Ooh, it does work. Works well. And I just realised I didn't solder on the bottom here. I've just soldered from the top, which it's a through-hole plated thing. But, you know, let's do belt and braces, because you never know these cheap boards if they're done right. So I'm going to solder on the bottom, as you would be doing at home. So 3 of these other resistors. And again, Brian, thank you so much. Power with 2 V's. Power. And I do like that there is 3 of these. Look, there's 3 and they are all the kind of same size. So if you wanted to, you could bend 3 legs at once. And I'm going to do that right now. So if you probably took them out before you take them off the paper that holds all these, the tape, you could probably bend them before you even remove them. Right, so that's our 3. And that's got the nice way that if you bend all of the, say, the 10Ks at once and then use them, you know that all the bent components on your bench are the particular size. Ah, that's the problem I've got here. Look, they actually are. I'm not bending them tightly enough because it's got the real minimum spacing for them. So I'm just going to pull them through with the old trusty pliers. So yeah, how have you been, guys, by the way? I know I feel like I've been doing a lot of streams recently, and I kind of feel that I don't know if everybody likes them or not. So I don't want to seem like I'm only doing streams. The streams are kind of just an extra bit of fun, really. So if you see me doing lots of streams, it's only because that's becoming my new kind of Netflix. It's like I want to play games, but I don't want to play them on my own. It sounds very sad, actually, but I kind of miss the old LAN parties and things like that. So I'd rather play with other people, and stream seems a really sort of nice way of doing it because sorry, just getting this, because you're not just sharing it with people who are playing, but people who can't play right now. Which I kind of like the idea. So I'm just, by the way, just tacking these from the top, but don't worry, I'm going to flip this over and solder them properly. I mean, I'm just tacking them because it's a convenience to me right now. There you go. Now it's become an inconvenience, so that's fine. So we'll just do it as per usual. But you know, just when you're soldering, just do it whatever way works, you know. Some people have some of these mats where it's got a bit of foam and you can put all the components on it and then flip them over, and the bit of foam sandwiches them so they don't just fall over all over the place. Other people, oops, do blue tack, and I've seen that for surface mount. Actually, I'm in 2 minds about that. Actually, I think it's probably a good idea, but I've never got any blue tack lying around. I'll probably be worried about melting it on. So we've got our resistors. So we've got a couple of LEDs. In fact, we've got 3 LEDs. And you know how I like the LEDs because of the thing, but I do have on my board, as you know, long leg positive. We're going to keep positive about that. Get our long legs positive. And the board does have a positive and negative nomenclature on there. So long leg positive. We'll put all the LEDs in now, I think. 1 LED. Ah. Interesting. I mean, there's the 1 LED and then there's another LED. Have they been just really generous with some of these parts? They've given us an extra LED. I'm kind of querying it because it's not usual, basically, for these guys to make too many mistakes on that. And while we're at it, we can probably squeeze in our capacitor, which is the 105. I guess that's 105 microfarads, or is it picofarads? Who knows? And then we've got our capacitor, and fortunately, again, it says on my board the shaded area is negative, and you can see there the top part is shaded, so we're going to go long leg on the bottom because it's always long leg positive. This is a dandy kit, isn't it? Because it's just literally, and I'm going to just tack them on the bottom. I do apologise, but don't worry, I'll flip them over. It's a dandy kit because it clearly, you can make it in a few minutes. And that, for me, and for some of you guys, is a boon. I do notice that a lot of you guys, there's some seriously hardcore viewers out there, and I wonder at those projects you do. They're amazing ones. You know, they can be, you know, like Dean. He's doing his rebuilding of his bloody, what was it? Was it an he's got an Osborne, and then there's an orange thing, or Auric. That's it, the old Auric, and that's almost virtually nuts and bolts. I mean, I just don't know how you guys have the patience. And then you have Electron Ash. He's FPGAing stuff and making N64 emulators and all sorts of stuff, which is just brilliant. I mean, I barely get round to any projects of substance. I can't. It's like I have it in me, don't have it in me. It's really weird. I can't do something like that just for fun right now. It's just it's a lot of investment in time and brain power, and I can't do it. I just can't invest it, man. But I wish I could. In fact, I should just do that, because, you know, they say the mind atrophies if you don't use it, and you know, I don't get to do sort of programming anymore. You lose the ability to use those programming languages, and that's a bit sad, isn't it? Something fishy here. Right, so let's count all these things up. Okay, sorry, I was getting confused because of those standoffs, and I was noticing there was no nuts for those machine screws. But I'm just looking at this. I think they're threaded. They are threaded, so hooray! I don't have to worry about that. So I'm not sure on the exact way of doing these. I suspect the best way is to sort of solder these in first, yeah, the heat sinks, and then solder the components to the heat sinks after you've screwed them in. It's going to go for that kind of order, and we'll zoom out now. I think we don't really have too many fine works to zoom in on. I mean, this is again pretty simple through-hole kit. So let's do that. So as I was saying, yeah, the mind atrophies, and you just forget. You forget so much. It's like me forgetting how to do calculus or something. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad that you invested time. You use it maybe for a bit and then you forget it. But some stuff just comes back. I mean, I was doing some stuff with the BBCB last night because I bought some BBCB gadgets, and there was a hardware-ish issue on it. It turns out this wasn't really a hardware issue. It's just more of a hardware-software combo type issue, because I wasn't an adult when I used a BBC. I was still a kid, so I didn't know a lot of the advanced features of the platform. And I started using that. But very quickly do you start becoming au fait with the commands and the things you're trying to do, because you still have in your mind the knowledge of how a computer actually works and what it's trying to achieve, and then you can really start to marvel. I was marveling at the ingenuity of the Acorn design, really. I'm not going to bother putting any Arctic silver or anything on this, or heat transfer tape. I think it's going to be fine. I mean, I'm not expecting it to exceed really what the screw and friction fit of these two components is going to be. So I'm just screwing those on now, cranking that up. So yeah, and so I learnt those commands on the Beeb, and I was just sort of, oh yeah, great, it does this, that, and the other. So, and then, but the thing that blew my mind is I found in a ROM image, because I'd basically got some sideways RAM up and running on it. And the thing that blew my mind though was, one, you could just make stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, you see these tracks here? They're not got a solder mask. The reason they've not got a solder mask is that they're going to expect you to flood fill that with solder. And I'll show you that and the reason why. Well, I can tell you the reason why. The reason why is because the current carrying capacity of a piece of track, if you imagine it's basically acting as a wire, has got a certain limit, because it's only got a certain thickness, right? So it's not like a wire with a diameter, but it does have a thickness. So if you add solder to all of these things, you can basically make that track very thick, and then that will boost up its current capacity. And just looking, there's some terminals here. We've got a 1T. There's a couple of terminals here as well, which are a bit mysterious. Not sure what's going to go on between there. But I'm just going to hook up the last bit here, the power and the well, I won't put the audio just yet, because that way we can fill those pads like it's expecting us to do. So I guess what happens also when you get older is that you sort of appreciate your time a little bit more, and I think you become more mature in your ability to make commitments or not to make them, as is more important probably. So I used to always try to help everybody and make commitments, and most of the time I would, well, nearly all the time I think I'd honour those, but then there's a point where you no longer can. Yeah, by the way, I see this wire here. Looks something suspicious. We'll work. I'm going to work this out, what all that is, in a moment. Before I solder this on, I might just go online. And I think as you mature and as you have other adult type commitments to make, you just become more realistic with your time and how long things take and your abilities. And I don't know if it's a case of your abilities getting worse or slowing down, or just you valuing again your time more. So it's like, I can do things and I can do them in a certain set time, but you're asking me to do this, why should I do it? Yeah, there's sort of that kind of question. Why? What's the end goal? What's the, we doing? Is it fun? Are we gonna? Is it gonna benefit us all somehow? Are we doing it for shits and giggles? Because shits and giggles is fine as well, as long as that means, if we're doing it for shits and giggles though, it means other stuff comes first. All your commitments in life and family have to come first. It just means we're playing. Right, so that's gorgeously thick. So you can see that track. I'll zoom in on this next one, but I'm going to be careful on the next one because there is a hole. I don't want to go through the hole just yet, but look how thick it is. See there? It's almost like a wire now, a fat slug sitting on the edge of the board. There we go, and I'm just going to stop right there because I've got that hole. We're going to work out what we're doing with that first. I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. I probably won't be bothered enough to look for an instruction manual, but I might see the listing for this on the eBay, find the eBay listing for it, and just look at what the picture was doing. It's about as far as, that's almost as me looking at a manual. That's about as far as I get to the manual, as just looking at a picture. And that's assuming then whoever's assembled it for the picture's done it right. There's the last bit of flooding. Again, we'll leave that last hole. So before I do that, let's just have a look, see what we've got. So that's all bonded up, that's all good. So I'm going to take this out the bag. Let's see what we've got to do with it. I think it's just got one end, basically. Look, there's a wire on each end. So there's not too many ways of doing this wrong, but I kind of feel it should probably be glued on there. So while I'm looking that up, I'm going to get me old hot glue. It is here. I'm going to heat that up. So this is the one I bought, by the way, from, I think it was Aldi's or Lidl. I can't remember who does Parkside, but it's got this nice gas one. Get it super hot. And we'll finish that off. Right! Okay, so I printed out a picture about 5 bloody times. I don't know how I managed to do that, so I'm going to be giving that to my kids. Say, look at that, learn that. But this little picture is all I need. Just shows the main thing in there, and then that wire is lashed around a couple of times and then popped onto those 2 pads on the PCB. And for those who want to know, it does say here it's a 15 to 24 volts 2 amps mini Tesla coil plasma electric arc electronic something, and just pop that on eBay. Look, I paid £3.53 delivered, so that's a pretty bargain really. So I'm going to work quickly while my soldering iron's on, because I've got to make one solder connection through the bottom, and just as this secondary, and this is going to be the tricky one. So I'm just going to pull one of these wires, and again this wire is going to be varnished, so it's always going to be a good idea to sort of try to scrape that off or do something with that. So give it a try. Let's see. Ah! He cut it off! He cut it! Damn it! I'm going to zoom in and really show you this. This is horrible. I don't like dealing with this stuff ever. It just never wants to solder, it never wants to play ball. Right, so I've hopefully got some varnished off. I'll just use a lighter to do that. and poke that through. Okay, let's assume I'm going to work with that and get that sorted. So I've got my glue gun here. Just want to kind of get this working. I'm going to pop that through the hole. Very fine, like an angel's hair. And I'm just holding it with my fingers while I sort of get a bit of hot snot, mate, in there. Ah, it came out the hole. Quick. Quicker. Quickest. Just trying to get it into position before it hardens. Right. Not massively pleased with that. I'm not going to be able to drop any in, so what I'm going to do though is just going to put a blob here, assuming it won't affect it in some horrible way and break the whole kit. Quite like to get one in there by that LED. And I have. So while that's all hardening, I'm just going to trim off the end of this wire that we got to lash around. So this is a single core wire, which is quite nice, very unusual. Not seen much single core. So that's kind of holding. If you can hear the hissing, if there's that hissing sound, that's the sound, of course, of my gas glue gun. So let's tap this on here. Use some tweezers. I don't know where my good tweezers are. Oh, there they are. Always losing the old good tweezers. And I've got the soldering iron ready. For that, let's see if we can tin this. Come on. Doesn't look like it's tinning. Never bloody does. What I'm going to attempt actually while we're here, I'm just going to see if I can get it around that post. That other component that was sitting there. Ooh. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Yes. Don't know if you saw that, but that is on it. It is on it. Crikey. If that takes a solder, I think we're good. I'm just adding that little bit of extra heat on there. Same here, because it might just melt that varnish, you never know. Good. I think we're good, guys. I think we're real good. Don't think that coil's going to drop off anywhere now. I'm pretty sure it's making a connection. So I'm going to just finish off the old glue gun in around that edge while we're here. Let's see if I can get one more squiz in this bit. Nice. Okay, done with the glue gunning. So just to show you that, just a blob. Put a blob around the bottom of this kind of fancy loo roll. Let's get the other bits of wire in and we're good to go. Fire this up. So I'm hoping to go on my favourite YouTube site of free music to play. Can't remember what's the name of that song. Joachim something. Love Baby Music Angel. And we're going to look at the instructions. See, it's going to go round once. Oh, I could get it round twice. Is it once or twice? Well, they're only showing it round once, so I don't know. I'm going to go twice though. Surely if once is better, twice is even better. If once is good, twice is better. That's what I'm I'm going to go with right now. If I'm wrong, it's easy enough to fix, isn't it? Just shorten it. So in the picture, if you go through the pictures on the website, they show someone holding up a electroluminescent bulb, and it's actually illuminating using, you know, the electricity is literally spraying out all over it. So that looks fun to try, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got that there. Let's do the final bit of soldering for those things, because if you remember, they have those fat tracks to hook up. Oh, you bastard! The wire instantly sprang out, as you would expect it to. Bollocks. If ever there was a time where I wish I just left it well alone, it was that one. That wafer thin last second fix. Right. Good. So we're going to trim that last bit there and that last bit there. Looks like, oh, and I was going to say, it looks like we're ready to go, but not quite, because we didn't put the feety standoffs yet. Last thing, if you're building this, put the feety standoffs. Because I assume it's there for good bloody reason. Otherwise, they'd never give you extra hardware. No way. Although they do seem to have given us loads of screws. They obviously had plenty of screws. Guy in the factory's pretty generous with those. And of course that LED, which we're going to use somewhere else. I'm so confident I'm going to turn off the old soldering iron actually. Ah, silence is golden. So I hope you're going to invest £3.60. Well, sorry, £3.53. It's nearer the £3.50 than the £3.60 to be fair. In a kit like this. I mean, I've wasted ordering a component the other day. I spent £4 wasting a component, and I could think for that cost of my waste I could have built this thing. So let me get the audio wire, because we're going to need that, definitely need that audio wire, which we have right here. Off the camera, of course, where I like to keep all of the essential goodies. And we've got power wire here too. Power and audio. We're going to connect them up. I don't know why. Look at this bloody power lead. I need to make it longer. I need to just buy some longer cable. Let me just turn on the old thing first. 24 volts, I believe it did say it wanted. So yeah, the meter's at 24 volts. It's not on. You see the output's not on. It's on, but it's not outputting. I don't want to kill myself, zap myself. So there's that. And then the first thing is we've got this audio source, which we're going to plug there. And we've got our little wire. Now I think before we put any audio source on there, let's just turn it on and see what happens, if anything. Okay, it's charging, it's going up. It's using 750 milliamps at 24 volts. So I'm touching the end of this. I'm not sure what we should be seeing, if anything. So at the moment, is that tip of that thing gone black? I'm scared. I'm so afeared of this. I don't know what we should be seeing now. Okay. And I know you can't see it at home, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to hook up my phone. Let's just try some audio through this. And then if that doesn't do anything visible, I don't know if you're supposed to just have a kind of grounded thing that it's going to be arcing off, or what, or how it all works really. Right. Rule 101 when building circuits is pay friggin' attention to what you're doing, you idiot, Andrew, you idiot. Why in heaven's name did you assume these two components were the same without even looking at them? I tell you what, look, I can see here P7N5 thing, and then on the other side you've got a BD243. These are two different components, and I've just gone and sort of soldered them in the, you know, each other's footprint. So let's just bloody get that out of the way. I suspect this thing would work. No wonder it was getting so hot. Crikey, hope I haven't killed it. Newbie mistake, can't believe it. Right, anyway, It's good to show you the fails, isn't it? Because these are the mistakes that you might make, or hopefully you be better at me. Better at being me than me. I think that would be quite good. Right, let's get that. So pop these in the other way round. Duh. Crikey. What am I coming to? This is the level of quality craftsmanship you could. Ow, hot. That's hot for a different reason. That's hot because I'm heating it now. Come on, slow down, calm down. It's all going to be okay. Just got to convince these to go through now that their legs have been cut and cropped. Yeah. It's like they're all soldered together now as well. There, that's it, isn't it? Good. Totally perfectly aligned. Not. So hot. So if you're doing this at home, by the way, and you're trying to rework something like that, just use your solder sucker, clear the solder out, do it properly. Take your time. Don't get excited by it all. Don't get stuck like me. Let's try to do this one a bit more carefully. And I think, you know, there's a reason I'm avoiding to use the solder sucker, and you're going to see that. I've only got two. I've got one which has this big mouth on it, which is a bit too big for a lot of things, and the other is the mouth is worn off it, so I haven't, you know, really won on that one. So these are the holes I want to clean. And before you say, oh, you should get one of those electric solder suckers, I do have an electric solder sucker, and I tell you, it's not worth heating up just for 3. It's certainly not even worth heating up just for 6. Right. So let's start again. Hooray! Now the irony is, if I have broken the kit, it's probably cheaper to buy another kit and buy these components. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. Just trying to get this to align. It's sort of aligned. It might just force through. Let's try. Give it a go, crank. So at least we know the heat sinks were doing their job. Crikey, are they doing their job? I can't. That's why we're in so much trouble with this component. It's literally, the solder is like gum now. Does not want to come off. Hey, got ya. Pretty much where I want ya. This is the world we live in. Now, before I forget, I had a go on the Star Trek Bridge Crew last night, and I'm going to flux the hell out of it. Ugh. And but I was using it in VR, using some VR, and I tell you what, that is the way to play that game. I know we've been playing it non-VR. Get out. But VR is definitely the boy you want to be using. It actually feels immersive, like you're in, you know, you're on like one of the Starfleet ships. That's how good it is that way. But not only that, it's calmer. It's like a quieter, slower pace. But then I know that was playing the single player, but there's something, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like you're on a Federation ship and you like that environment. It's, you know, and you can have a look out of your sensors and look around space. It's all good. Right, here we go. We'll never know if the 2 turns were better now than 1 because of my messed up dealings with this. So I'm going to plug that in. Going to turn off the light because I think it's something we want to see that doesn't have light. So power is going on. Oh my life! I'm hearing sound. Wait, hang on a minute. I'm just going to go onto YouTube. Crikey, that is bizarre. How the hell am I hearing sound? So I'm going to put it on one of my own videos, right? Because I don't want to, you know, do any copyright infringement thingy. So I'll put it on one of my videos. Error has occurred. Yes, YouTube doesn't like me at the moment. So I'm going to put the volume. Honestly, error has occurred. Come on. Playlists. It just does not like anything I do. So I'm just going to play some of my videos because that is insane-o. And we'll just do, here's a noisy, the Lord Arse interview. And that was quite a noisy environment, so it should go on for a while. Right, so let's... Wow.
Yeah, Twitter infamy. Twitter infamy. And
I don't know if you can hear that. That is insane. It is making sound. How the hell is it doing that? And it's making sound out of this sort of lightning thing it's doing. That is bonkers. What? That is bonkers sauce. Damn it, that's bonkers sauce. Look at that. I'm gonna look. What the actual hell? What the hell? That is insane. And I'm going to pause the video. Yeah, look, it just stops the sound, but damn it. What the hell? That is the best. I tell you what, that's the best £3.50 you'll ever friggin' spend this week. Look at that. I think this bulb's broken even. It doesn't matter. It's just exciting the gases inside. What do they do with this tablet? Nothing. But I mean, if you imagine the inputs, if you hold your mobile phone up to this, I bet it's going to kill it. Kill it with my voice. Phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Sorry, I'm really genuinely amazed at this. And, you know, just going to show you. Look at the range. Oh, it's weird. It actually... You see it's still kind of glowing at that. Maybe if I play sounds. Oh yeah, maybe the sound does something. Oh, then now it's gone. Maybe it needs to ignite the gases and then... Oh, Uncle Fester! Wow, that is phenomenal. That is the best thing I've made. I swear, that's the best kit. Crikey. Let's turn on the lights. Let's turn that bloody off. Remember, if you've got it in the light, you might not be able to see that it's working. It's magic. Yeah, the heat sinks are warm. They're not as hot as they were when I got them the wrong way round, but bloody hell. £3.50. I know I didn't have any instructions on mine, but you can watch this video. You don't need them. That is phenomenal. Get one immediately. Bloody hell. As ever, thank you for watching.